Thank you, Professor, for the introduction, and thank you especially Michael, that was one of our former president, indeed, and also one of the co-founders with me and other people in Politecnico in 2016 of PoliMappers. We talked about the global community, we talked about different level of communities inside OpenStreetMap, that first of all, I'd like to highlight that is a community of mappers and people expressing their needs also on the map. What they see that is needed, what is missing in different parts of the world. So you saw the valuable example in some specific conflict areas that maybe are not of interest of big providers, but also in Milano, that is a well-mapped city on OpenStreetMap, there are still missing objects that can be updated constantly and also processed in specific application. That's what we do as PoliMappers, or actually what we aim to do as PoliMappers, as a small communities of mappers from Politecnico, established in 2016, and contributing as single users that gather in specific occasion, in presence online, to the promotion of open mapping on OpenStreetMap, but also on the adoption of free and open source technologies, the so-called Phosphor-G. In this way, we contribute to the local community needs, but also we try to strengthen connection with other associations and groups active in Politecnico. For example, Linux group, I see a representative of this group of Politecnico, and also people from different backgrounds. So you will see geoinformatics students, environmental engineers, civil engineers, architects, urban planner, and so on. Everyone is bringing his vision, their vision to the map. We were the first chapters, represented now by 3 officers, me, Dina, and Hui, active in Politecnico and coordinated by our faculty advisor.
I'm doing nothing.
Professor Brovelli, since our birth. But we are part of a global network. So again, this discussion on scales, multiple scales of communities and maps and technologies also. We are part of this group established just slightly before our foundation that is composed by more than 400 universities spreading all over the world in different continents and countries, whose main motivation is to create this network of resilient communities with students expressing their needs and learning something new through geoscience, open geoscience approaches. The network now, I know, is undergoing some transformation because, as you know, it is mainly established in the US. There are some big transformation on this side with the new president, but they are still fostering and trying to support all the students-led activities of different chapters, starting from ours and also the others, with dedicated students-led initiatives and activities. What we do? We do field mapping, because this is the traditional way of contributing to the map, no more maybe with field papers. This looks a bit too traditional sometimes, even if it's still in use, especially in some areas. We use some application, dedicated application. For example, here you can see a screenshot of what we did in Politecnico campus here that was recently renovated. So it's asking for another update of the data, as you can see, because we are in a world that is constantly evolving and changing. So also this is a topic of discussion on one of the future events we are going probably to organize together with the Linux group in March. So you're all invited, still having to decide exactly location and everything. We also provide training and seminars on specific tools, OSM related tools. For example, here you see JOSM or Mapillary, but also the idea is also to answer your need. If you want a specific tools in which one of the officer or other members is proficient with, you can ask, and the idea is to share our knowledge for common goals and application. We engage with the local communities. Here you see, for example, 2 events that were held in the past, connected with some small municipalities, so different ages, different backgrounds, also dealing on how to build connections, how to build collaboration with other people. This is an important soft skills that I learned, for example, in PoliMappers, and also with other students at different levels, starting from primary school, also secondary school, and so on. humanitarian mapping. I won't spend too many words on this because you saw already the presentation by Michael, very active on this field with YouthMappers. And also we try to build joint projects with other YouthMappers, because we are not forgetting that we are part of this network, with other students, understanding their perspective on specific topic, and also, why not, building new friendship or connection with people from other chapters in Europe, but also around the world, and also working together with, for example, here, UMAP, 3-year Germany associations, or French also association. In the past, we had the opportunity also, through collaboration with Professor Brovelli and Biaggi, to organize some innovative teaching programs, the so-called Passion in Action catalog that is active in Politecnico. This is an example of the program we had in 2021. So in the period of COVID, I would say this was a big challenge also for us as members, to learn how to adapt and be flexible to the situation. So this is another soft skill I would like to highlight, that it's not only geo-related, it's something very useful for your future, not only in the world of geomatics or geoinformatics, in which we explore different projects at different level, and we connected with other realities active in Politecnico, outside Politecnico in Milano, with, for example, association and group of the municipality, AMAT, for example, but also outside Italy and at the global level, for example, Meta and YouthMappers. And before concluding, I try to be very short because I talk a lot generally, so I'm trying to stay on schedule. I just like to highlight some recent projects and theses we worked on. That some of them were supported also by YouthMappers, so there were some kind of research fundings. For example, the master thesis project of Michael was supported by one of these, it was the first one, I think, of PoliMappers, supported by this, and enhancing international collaboration. But for example, up until last year, we worked on the update of mobility and sidewalks information and tags on OpenStreetMap around Milano. And this was it was a project that started with Lorenzo Stucchi, former co-founder and big member of PoliMappers, with his master thesis, and also later, let's say, supported also by Meta and AMAT in Milano. And now we are still in talks with TomTom for going on with new events dedicated to the mapping of mobility, pedestrian mobility in Milano and also in other cities. So again, this constant connection with other realities active in this area, and with a special focus on needs of the population that are using the map. So not only building a super accurate map, but a map that answers the needs and the requests of the people that have to be on the map. Another thesis project that was funded also by the research fellowship of YouthMappers was the one curated by Gorica Bratic, former member again, and a PhD in geoinformatics with Professor Brovelli, that was dedicated to the mapping of deforestation in the Amazon. So a global climate change issue that you can see. I think all of you already know something about this aspect, but the idea was to try to connect OSM and capacity building connected to the single chapter of YouthMappers as PoliMappers, involve them in the process of mapping these changes, and also then use this data for training and validating models on land cover. So moving to other type of software and tools that maybe you will see. I think you will see during your track at geoinformatics. So again, an example of a global need that was reconducted to single communities and single local communities contribution, and then upgraded with some innovation related to geo tools and trends. Another one from some master students from architecture and building engineering. So you saw different backgrounds also involved in our projects. Was this thesis conducted in collaboration with a chapter in Colombia, in Medellin, and another one in Bogota. Indeed, the project was mostly based on Bogota, in collaboration also with urban planning group and TECHO, ONG. active on the field for mapping point of interest and activities inside the informal settlement, urban settlement, that are a huge topic of discussion on how to map them and how to reach the people in this area, because usually they are not of interest for big providers of maps and services, geoservices. So the idea was to try to understand through the local knowledge of the people there how to map and help remotely in a constant exchange of information and also knowledge transfer. And then use the data gathered there in order to go on with some analysis on slum upgrading with some dedicated tools developed by urban planning and architecture students and researchers. We are organizing new events. At the moment, we still don't have a precise date. Actually, we have an idea of a date for March, but you will see soon more information, detailed information. But you can find us and join us. You're all invited. I saw already some familiar faces from previous events, but most of you are new to me. You can find us on different channels. We are quite social. Don't hesitate to contact us if you have any doubt on how to join, how you can make the difference. But yeah, this is, I would say, the first step to enter the OpenStreetMap community from your little community as students, also expressing also your voice and your needs before then maybe joining something bigger. You're already part of something bigger, but starting from the basis. So, thank you for.
Okay. Thank you, Federica. Don't you think they deserve an applause? Okay, very good. And thank you. So I don't know if there is time just for one quick question, if any. If not, if you want to think.
I forgot, we also have another faculty advisor from Japan, of YouthMappers.
Yes, there is here Professor Taichi Furuhashi. You will see him next week in any case, because he will teach us how to use Mapillary, a very practical experience with Mapillary. Okay, so if there are no questions, I will close here the lesson. I will stop recording.